Good evening. My student was an ELL second grader, and she performed at the letter name alphabetic early stages of short vowels. So she missed 3 in the short vowel, and so I would like to work with her on short vowels. Something interesting that happened with her is that in digraphs and blends, she did well. She only missed 1 in those. And so it's just a gap in her knowledge. And so I would work with short vowels kind of on a regular basis while I continue to introduce some common long vowels and start talking about word within word patterns. But the game for short vowels that I created in my lesson plan would have been after a lesson on fox and socks. And so we'd be talking about those short vowel sounds and how to make rhyme. Some of the GATE students would be doing rhyming patterns. So for my game, it's called Hip Hop Frog Jump. In the book, it's called Hop. So I thought it was clever to say hip hop because that's those short vowel sounds as well. And so each player would be paired or put into a group of 3 for this game in the classroom. They would get a game board that would look like this. Okay, and it would have different one-syllable items on it to practice this, and they would also receive a spinner, which I was going to show you in class. I'm not sure that I can show it to you here. Let's see. No. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and skip that part, but they would receive a spinner, and it would have vowels on it, so A, E, I, O, U, and they would spin the spinner, and they'd land on a sound. So for instance, if they landed on the E, the first place that they would go, if they started here, if they got the E sound, they'd go to yes. And they would also say it out loud, yes, okay? And then they jump to that spot. It is just like a board game, so these lily pads are continuous, and they continue down to a frog's home. I included elements of the Sierra Nevadas, so that they would be familiar and it would be relevant to them. And so each person in the group would take a turn. So if this person got the E and the next person got an O, they would only be on hop. Okay? And then say the third person spun the spinner and they got a U. They'd end up all the way over here on cut. So they would really have to think about how the vowels make the sound. And I would have them say it out loud in order to help them to recognize it in oral language as well. For ELL and SPED students, the spinner would have images to help. So in the book, in Appendix C, there are some short vowel sounds with images to help students learn the sound and learn visually how short vowel sounds work. So for SPED and ELL, I would use that. For GATE, I'd have them extend it. So when they landed on something like leg, they would rhyme. They would make up a rhyming word. So leg, peg, right? And so they'd practice that way and sort of extend their learning and in a sort of a fun way. So that is my lesson for today. Thank you and have a great one.